Hi guys, I'm here today to do a makeup video. I'm very interested in makeup. I don't talk about it too much on this channel. I would like to do a little bit more, dabble a bit more in the beauty side, but I'm in no way a guru. Every single item of makeup I'm going to show you is all budget. It's all super cheap. The most expensive thing I'm going to show you is £15. So if you're new to makeup or you don't know a lot, or you're on a budget for whatever reason, hopefully this will help you out. So I'm just going to move them so they're a bit closer to me. I have sort of sorted these out into brands. I will talk about each palette, give a little bit of how I feel, and yeah, let me know if you've got any of these and how you feel. So the first brand I'm going to talk about is the most expensive brand. Start off big, and that is Front Cover. This is the A Billion Stars. I got this for £15. It was half price, I want to say. It was on sale. It was either half price or £10 off or something like that. It was like between £20 and £30 originally. But I got it on sale because I'm cheap, because I can't justify spending that much on an eyeshadow palette. So this is what's inside the palette. You get some pigment shadows and some little stars. You did get other, like, you got the glue for the stars, and you got a primer and a lip liner, no, an eyeliner, but they're all gone. I've had this a little while now. And there was also neutral colours in this, and a palette to put some of the shadows on the go, but I just put the neutrals in a palette and gave them to my sister because I'm not going to use them, and I thought she may as well get the use out of them. Yeah, I don't do neutrals, so if you've come here for neutrals, I'm really sorry, but maybe I can at least tell you about some brands that are budget prices and you can find their neutral palettes. But yeah, Front Cover is a bit more of a pricier one. It's like the pricey side of High Street. I also have this Front Cover palette. It's not really a palette, but it is. This is the Moonlit Metals. It's like a palette of pigments. So again, this came with like a primer and things, but they're gone. My ex's stepmother bought me this for Christmas, so I've had this a little while. And I don't know how much it was, but I'm going to assume it was around the £10 mark, since that big one was maybe that, I don't know how it works. But yeah, so you get all your pigments in little jars in a palette format. I have dabbled about with this and I have used the glitters, but pigments seem to last forever, so this will probably last me a long time. The next brand, I'm not really sure if the word brand is correct here, that I'm going to talk about is Wilkinson'S, as in the shop, the UK High Street shop, that's like, it's got a bit of everything in it. It's known as Wilko's. They do makeup and they have some makeup palettes. I have two of them. This first one my old flatmate bought me for a birthday, I think it was. This is the She's a Rebel palette. This eyeshadow is, I probably should have said about Front Cover, good quality shadows. You know, I did pay a bit more for them. I expected them to be. These eyeshadows are baked, and they are good, other than two shades. For some reason, it's like two of the shades got made in a different place, in the driest place ever. Two shadows got made in the Sahara Desert, the rest in a normal factory. And that's this Hazy Days one. You can probably see it's got a crack through it because it's that dry. And the Hollywood one, that one's really dry as well. For some reason I just can't get those two colours to work, and they're the driest things in the world. But every other colour is really smooth and buttery and works lovely. I am actually wearing these green shades today on my eye, and they blended lovely. I'm very happy with them. I love the quality of them. They've lasted me a while. I'm happy with this palette. I've got eyeshadow all over myself. What's new? Good job that that I've got clean hands, because there's eyeshadow everywhere. So that's that one. And then the second one I have is the You're Smoking Hot palette, which has got moving eyes on it. And this is very simple, very basic. It's just 3 colours that you can make a smoky eye with. Oh, the brush is gone. I'm trying to get the little thing. There we go. the little plastic. And my grandma bought me this for my birthday, I think it was last year, and I took this with me to the festival that I just went to, and these lasted through me windmilling away, through me, you know, dancing about, having a good time, going out for a full day, going out for a full evening. They lasted, they did the job. This grey in particular is really smooth and buttery. This is like the most high quality of the three, but there's no issues here. Like this black, it took me a little bit of building, but once it was on, that was it. It was on, it stayed, and I'm really impressed with this. And yeah, and these palettes, like that She's a Rebel one, if I remember correctly, was like £8 because I was going to buy it and then my family was like, no. And so I would assume this one would be, you know, not even £8. It's gonna be like, I would guess like a £5, maybe not even that. I don't know because I didn't buy it. The next one I have is one I've had a few years. My mum bought me this for Christmas a while ago. I broke the lid. So this is the lid. This is the Body Collection palette. This has got a mixture of crazy colours and neutrals in it. As you can tell, this little area here is pretty much pristine, unused. But I enjoy the colours that I have used. This one is a little bit hit and miss. Some of these eyeshadows are a bit chalky and a bit wishy-washy. You do need a primer for them, but if you give them a chance and you work with them, you can get them, you know, to make a really nice look. And if you don't really know what shadows you like, this might be a good one to try. So you've got a bit of variety in there, you know, you've got the colours and the colours, they're all colours, but you know what I mean, you've got the crazy colours and you've got the neutrals. Another palette which is good for if you don't know what kind of shadows you want. I should probably take the plastics off, that would be a good start. I have the Lorac Palette. My friend bought me this for Christmas a couple of years ago, and so this has got 120 colours in it, and as you can tell they're all pretty bright and crazy. There's a slight bit of neutralness, but again, that row is untouched. This neutral colour here might look like I've used it a lot, but this one for some reason was smashed. Every other colour was intact, which is good. I'm glad that if one colour had to be smashed, it was a brownie one, because I don't use like nude shades, I don't use skin tone, I've just got more eyeshadow all over my hands. But yeah, this one again is a little bit like that last one. The colours can be a little bit chalky and a bit wishy-washy, but as long as you prime them and, you know, use good brushes with them, they'll work perfectly fine. I will put the plastics back on them in a little while. I don't even know where to go. I'm looking on the floor like I've got so many palettes everywhere. This next one is my Technic Electric Beauty Palette. If you saw my holographic principal eyeshadow look, this is the palette I used. This palette is no more than £3.99. It can be £1.49 depending on where you look. I think I got this for £2.50. And these are amazing. They are bright, they are buttery, they are pigmented, they will last. They are a little bit fallouty, but to be honest, that's kind of something you can say about every eyeshadow. They're a powder, there's going to be some fallout. But yeah, like this palette, if you want to try something bright on a budget, this is a cheap palette and it will do the job and it will do it well. I really cannot commend that palette enough, it's so impressive. The next one I have here is quite a new addition to my collection. This is actually my second palette by this brand, but I've used up the first one I had by them, it's long gone, and that's Sleek. I used to have the Acid palette, I think it's called Acid, back when they used to have their different packaging, when it said Sleek in white on the front. I'm sure it was in white. Anyways, yeah. I've used that palette up and it's now in the bin because it was empty and unusable. But this one is the Vintage Romance palette. Sorry, it's got a massive mirror. I'm going to try and cover this up. And this is all like plums and purples. This is quite subtle for me. This is like kind of neutrally for me because plums seem to be making their way into the neutral world. This seems to be the new like neutral thing. I guess it's like grungy neutral. But yeah, this is a beautiful palette and I love it and I'm really happy I got this. I actually got this half price, so I didn't even pay the full high street price for this. I think I got it for, I want to say it was about £4, £4.50 in the half price sale, so it's less than £10 normally. And then I got it even cheaper. It was on sale in Tesco's. The next one, I don't know what brand this is. My auntie bought me this years ago. This might be the oldest palette in this entire set, and I should probably get rid of it because this one is getting a bit old and minging. I am relatively clean, like I clean all my brushes and things, but this one has kind of seen better days, and it's got quite a lot of neutrals in as well, so it's not even like I'm really holding it onto it for any particular reason. I'll try and cover up the mirror and the sweatily disgusting lip glosses that I tried to use when I first got it and realised I hated lip glosses. It's got so much eyeshadow in it because this black one kind of burst a bit into them. But yeah, so this is just a little standard compact. It's kind of good for younger kids, younger girls who are just getting into makeup, which is kind of when I got this, and you know, it did its purpose, but it's seen a lot better days and I don't use it really anymore, so it might be at the end of its lifespan. This next one I don't really want to show on camera because it's all mirrored, so it's going to be like the brightest, most horrible experience, you'll be blind. But this is the Vickie palette. My sister had this made for me just this last Christmas by Makeup Obsession, so I'm gonna just open it up. It's a silver mirrored palette with my name etched into the front, and I'm going to try and cover up the mirror as best I can because it's quite a wide one. But these are the colours. They are very me. I have used these colours and they are lovely, buttery, easy to use colours. That black is stunning. I mean, it's got like multicoloured rainbow glitter in it. I don't know if you can quite tell, but I love that black. That's probably my favourite colour in this palette, and I really like this like pinky plummy colour as well. I'm really getting into my like pinky plums. Maybe I am kind of becoming a neutral girl. Not that neutral though. But yeah, they all work great. I've used every colour. Doesn't really look like I have, but I have. But I've only had these since Christmas, so I'm sorry I'm blinding you. The next brand is one that used to be amazing, or at least I believed it was, but they've kind of gone a little bit downhill, and that is Claire's Accessories. I used to love their palettes, but unfortunately the palettes that I loved I've used and they're gone, they're binned now. I have this glitter palette which I have used once. My friend bought me this because we've known each other forever, so she knows that I loved, or at least loved, Claire's Accessories makeup. So she bought me this, and I keep saying I'm going to do a glitter eye and I'm going to experiment with it. I tried it once. I need to get into glitters again because I've got so many glitters that I don't use. I mean like loose glitters as well, like pigment style glitters, and I have these. So yeah, I need to try and get back into those. And then I have this eyeshadow palette which the same friend bought me as well. Again, it was the nostalgia factor, and she knows, she's known me forever, so she knows this is a brand that I really did love. And this has the eyeshadow and then the matching glitter along them. The eyeshadows are okay, they're a bit chalky, they're not as good as they used to be. I feel like I have to use quite a bit of shadow to get the payoff of the colours. Especially for like the green and the blue, I think they're the worst two, if I remember correctly. But I have used this and I will use it, and I am grateful for it as a present, but unfortunately I don't know if it's because I was a lot younger so it seemed amazing, or if they have gone downhill in quality, but the makeup at Claire's doesn't seem as good to me anymore. Maybe that's because other brands have come out for cheaper that are better. Yeah, like these two palettes were £2.50 each. These are both from Primark. So this is just eyeshadow, the palette, and then this is apparently Lovable Luxuries, the palette. They've both got massive mirrors again. This one is a very smoky palette, like it's got a bit of blue and a bit of purple. That purple is one of my favourite eyeshadows ever. And I can use this for a real lovely smoky eye, and the shadows are so workable, so smooth, and for £2.50, like you literally cannot go wrong at all. I love them. And this other palette is a blue toned one with like a mixture of the purple. Again, it's got that same kind of purple in again, which I really like, and I love that green. That's one of my favourite green eyeshadows, and that white is one of my favourite white eyeshadows. And this one I actually wear a lot to work. The blue colours, I like to wear them because you can make a real subtle eye out of them, but you can also make a real bold eye out of them, so they can make them subtle at work but then build upon it and it'll be like nightwear from day to night in a version of blue. And yeah, if you ever want to try a cheap eyeshadow palette, Primark might be a good place to go. There's a really nice plummy one in at the moment, but I have so many plum shades now, it's like, Vickie, why are you buying more of this? The next brand is an old classic for bargaining, and that is Makeup Academy. I have 4 of their palettes. These are £4 each, I believe. I did actually buy all these, and I got 3 of them in the 3 for 2. 3 for 2 is what I'm trying to say. I was trying to say 2 for free. No, Vickie, that would be paying more. I got 3 of these in 3 for 2, so one of these palettes I got for free. So I got the Dusk Till Dawn palette. I basically got it for the bottom row. I don't really use this top row much. This eyeshadow looks really used, but actually it got smashed. I took this on holiday with me, and unfortunately one of the eyeshadows got a bit damaged on the plane. This white I do use though. That white is a nice inner corner look. But yeah, I've used these colours so much, and I really like them. Again, really workable, brilliant quality. I can't complain. The next one I have is Glitter Ball, which looks like this. Again, these like neutrally colours I haven't used. And this one doesn't look very used at all, but I have used this quite a bit. It's just that I think with these the colours are quite bright, so I don't need to use a lot of it. And so it looks quite unused, but it's been with me a while and I have used it and loved it. The next one is a bright one. This is, if you want bright on a budget because you're a bit scared but you want something really bold to play with, get Poptastic by Makeup Academy. These are bright and pigmented and I love them. These are so me. As you can see, I have broken into this blue, but you don't need a lot of the colour really to get that crazy bold look. I was tempted to try and do my holographic principal look with this palette, but the Technic palette just worked a little bit better with the colours I wanted. But I love this. And my most used palette of all time. I have spoke about this palette a couple of times, so you might know what it is if you've seen my videos before. And that is the Starry Night palette. This is like my most basic, perfect palette. I could take this away and have so many looks out of it, but yet it'd always be perfect to match whatever it is I'm wearing or whatever it is I want to, you know, colour as. I don't know what I'm going for there. But unfortunately I've used all the white up, so I don't have the white anymore, and I've nearly used up all of this like really light silvery colour. This has become the new white of this palette and I've nearly used all that up. So unfortunately I think I would have to bring like a white colour with me if I did take this anywhere now, but as you can tell I've hit pan on every single colour. I love this. This is brilliant. I will probably buy another one when I run out of it because I really love this. The last brand I have is probably my favourite brand for eyeshadows, at least my most recent favourite, and I think this is everyone's most recent favourite bargain brand when it comes to internet, YouTube, like beauty places, and that is Makeup Revolution. So these palettes, again, much like Makeup Academy, the ones that don't have a mirror, so like this one, this is the Acid Brights palette. These are £4, and then the ones with a mirror are £6 that are this size, and then the ones that are bigger with a mirror I think are between £8 and £10. So yeah, this was £4 and these are bright. These are usable. Well, to me they are. Usable is probably not the word everyone wants to hear for this, but these are bright and they're easy to work with. Makeup Revolution do really good quality products. Unfortunately for me, this palette is quite matte and I don't really do matte a lot. I know what you're all thinking. You're all gasping because everyone likes matte and everyone hates shimmer. No, glittery and bright coloured is the eyeshadow I like. I may be wrong in that opinion, but oh well, I don't care. This next palette I have twice because I really wanted it, so I couldn't wait and I bought myself it, but then it turns out my boyfriend's parents had actually bought me it for my birthday, and that is the Mermaids versus Unicorns palette. This is the mermaid side and this is the unicorn side. This unicorn side is my favourite. I love it. It's very plum dark, you know, me. I am getting a bit more into the plums now that I'm a bit older. But anyways, yeah, moving on from my age. So I have this twice. I haven't even opened this one, and I'm gonna leave it nice and sealed so that when I use this palette I will have a nice brand new palette to get straight back into. I have two of the £6 palettes, so the ones with mirrors that are the same size as those ones. This is the Ultimate Colour Chaos palette. It's got a massive mirror, but this is beautiful. I love this. The two greens and the plum colour are beautiful. I love them. The silver is pretty good as well, and the this pinky purpley colour, I really like that as well. I've just realised I said the two greens and there's four in here. The two darker greens is what I'm trying to say. I haven't really used the mattes, these 5 mattes, sorry I'm blinding you. I haven't really used them and I probably should give them a bit more of a go. But again, amazing quality, good pigmented colours. I have no complaints. This is my favourite palette of all time. I adore it. This is everything to me, because I went on a bit of a rant on my social media about how there are no palettes that are dark but unusual. They're all dark neutrals or dark black and grey, but there's none with unusual colours. This answered my prayers. This is the Give Them Nightmares palette. I love it so much. I have used so much. I've even used the mattes in this one. You might not be able to tell, and that's because you use like one swish of a brush and you've got so much colour there. I don't need to use I don't need to dig in and get a lot of colour with these. These are probably like the eyeshadows that I respect the most. But these are like the best quality eyeshadows I own, in my opinion. I absolutely adore this palette. If you are a little bit alternative, a little bit spooky inclined, you'll probably love this. You know, being the symphonic metal girl I am, these speak to me a lot. I love them. And then I have one more palette, and that is the more expensive range. I don't actually know exactly how much this is. I feel like £10 is the price point for this. I think if you order it online it's £10 because you have to pay for shipping, but if you buy it in the shop it's £8. But this wasn't available in the shops, I don't think, or if it was, it wasn't when I wanted it. My boyfriend bought me this for Christmas a couple of years ago, and that is the Mermaids Forever palette. Again, massive mirror. I apologise, you're about to get blinded, but it's beautiful. I love these like reddy pinky colours, and the purpley colours are my favourites. I've used the greens and the blues quite a lot, and these dark smoky ones. These are brilliant inner corner looks. The only ones I haven't really used are these like orangey colours and these like more darkish brown colours, which are great if you want a smoky neutral eye, but I don't. Sorry. So yes, those are all of my palettes. They are all budget. I'm covered in eyeshadow. If you are on a budget and you want to try bright colours, these are the kind of brands that you want to be looking for, and you probably could get really good neutral palettes from them, but I couldn't tell you because I haven't used them and I haven't tried them. But I do know a lot of people say, especially the MUA and Makeup Revolution neutrals are really good. So yeah, if you've got any of these palettes, let's talk about them. Let me know what you think of my collection. I hope you weren't too blinded by my mirrors, and I'm going to cover my camera in makeup now. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.